Our history did not begin with independence. The history of our economies began when the plantation economies were established. And we're still feeling the side effects? Certainly, I think so. Our countries were all colonized by the British or the French or the Spanish. And what they established was something called the plantation economy. The plantations were the workplace of the enslaved women and men. But the profits generated by the plantations did not benefit the enslaved peoples. The profits went to the colonizing power. And throughout the Caribbean, that is a general story.
After independence, these new governments had to provide more hospitals, schools, social development programs, things that they're providing, they're committed to provide and are forced to provide. The colonial masters didn't have to do that. So again, we're looking at a situation where most of the wealth generated inside Jamaica were going to multinationals. For example, in Jamaica, when we think of the bauxite industry, it was under Michael Manley when he imposed a bauxite levy to increase the revenue coming to Jamaica, or the Jamaican government from bauxite, that we started to see a little bit of money. But then you see what happened is that they crippled Jamaica's bauxite industry by going elsewhere to get bauxite and to punish Jamaica for having the audacity of trying to get a greater share of the revenue from bauxite. But even then, we were just producing the bauxite, but in terms of the products that comes from bauxite, those things were done in the metropolitan region, and those generated a greater level of income.
So reparations for us really mean correcting that wrong, to getting some kind of recompense from the former enslavers for what they did to our people, for the brutalization, the mass killing of Indigenous people, and later the enslavement of our people. But I have always said, if we can reclaim our minds and we don't get a single cent, we would be on our way to being the great people that we were. Because Marcus Messiah Garvey said, we have to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery.
The CARICOM Reparations Commission is an august body that was established by CARICOM to address the issue of reparations and reparatory justice for African descended people in the Caribbean.
Rasta has been calling for reparations for a long time now. Nobody took them seriously. I think in the last few decades, we've definitely seen a growing call for reparations because we've taken a look at the consequences of colonialism. Not just slavery itself, but the entire episode of colonialism.
The 10-point plan outlines 10 very specific ways in which we, the Caribbean people, would want to see reparations and reparatory justice. The first thing on that plan is a full and formal apology. A full and formal apology that indicates there is no chance ever of the atrocity being committed again. A written plan. We've already seen some initiatives to render apologies. We want full and formal apologies as outlined in our plan. Next in the plan, well, not next, but certainly in the plan, is debt cancellation. That is a major topic, debt cancellation. Repatriation, not just of the stolen bodies, but also of all the artifacts and all things that were stolen. Repatriation. Knowledge and culture. We were separated because we left the continent. We were taken from the continent, so we were separated from our indigenous culture. We want back that. We want institutions, places of learning that we can practice, we can learn and practice. So those are some of the key things in the CARICOM 10-point plan.
Part of the difficulty that we have had is that with conquest and slavery and colonialism, a lot of our people didn't think that they were somebody. So the whole struggle of humanization to come to the concept and understanding of a somebodyness, that you are somebody. That's, if we can only do that, I think we would be well on our way to correcting all of the wrongs. Because we are mighty people. We have resisted a lot, we have went through a lot, but we have survived. And as Maya Angelou say, amidst all of the problems, yet we rise.